You're right as a person at the top, he will make you feel that you are the person at the bottom. And by the time he finished talking to you, you absolutely believe that you are much more below him. Because that's a Nigerian. So as long as you are able to bear this in mind, then I can honestly tell you that you can break through anywhere in Nigeria. Because Nigerians respect each other as long as you're willing to respect them. And the moment you show that you're not ready to respect them, likewise, they will give it back to you in equal measure. Okay, so that to me is a Nigerian. They love life, they work hard, they're creative, they're innovative, they know almost everything that needs to be known. Don't take them for fool. They're not. Because the first thing the Nigerian will tell you is, who are you? Where are you coming from? Do you know who I am? And the moment you move away from that corner and you move into another room, you will hear the same story by another set of Nigerians asking you, who are you? Do you know who I am? Where are you coming from? What's your worth? But the fact is, Nigerians are hardworking, lovely, hospitable people, and the best people that you can come across anywhere in the world. Now, talking about the IDP, which was created due to the internal crisis that Nigeria is facing from the point of Boko Haram. And the northeastern part of Nigeria is the one that is much well recognized as a brand in Nigeria that is highly affected with the situation and the crisis and the internal war between the Boko Haram and the Nigerian government, or between the Boko Haram and the communities where they are. Nasarawa is on the border to Abuja, just next door really. Some part of Nasarawa is precisely in the FCT. Now, there are a lot of issues, a lot of challenge right now in Nigeria, not just because of the Boko Haram incidents, but because of the economic scale of what the government has promised to do for the internally displaced people. Government cannot do it all. Neither is government willing to listen to the other people who are willing to contribute. Not because the government as an institution is not willing to, but the people who are representing the government, which mean the ambassadors, which mean the people in the front bench, are not willing to listen to organizations coming to contribute or to do something. Taking it to another level, you will have followed the stories in the National Assemblies, in the Senate, and within the presidency of funds that has been generated or raised that need to have gone to internal IDPs. A lot of money has disappeared, billions. And other people have been implicated, big names, within the Senate saying something has gone wrong and these people need to come forward and account for the money that has been raised for the IDPs. Apart from that, when you look at the caliber of the people who were supposed to be there, a lot of questions right now have been asked and they will not get the answer for now. Neither will they get the answer next month or next year, unless the government are absolutely willing to do what they are supposed to do. The presidency as well has recently appointed another committee with the likes of T. White and Juma to look into the issues of IDPs and the Northeast. The point here is the Good Samaritan have decided to take the horn, or the bull by the horn, right? To go in and contribute their quota. And for that, I commend you guys for it. And for me personally, that's why I'm more or less, in fact, when they told me, because I just came back from Nigeria, about it, I said, oh, I hope it's not because they saw a video that I put online, because I went to places like Ajagule, where that is another major area that our people, Nigerians, are living, which shouldn't be. But the truth of the matter is, the answer that I will relate here is that every Nigerian, as I said, is somebody to himself and nobody to the other person. The crisis and the challenge that Nigeria is facing is due to all of us in this room, either one way or another. For those who are progressive, they are contributing their own quota positively. For those who ignore it, then they're contributing their quota negatively. And at the end of the day, as I said, it belongs to all the people. Everybody in this room is doing one thing or another. For me, as we begin to prepare, because in a few weeks' time, by God's grace, all of us will enter 2017. And then the big question is, what direction are the politicians and the government, what direction would they be headed towards 2019? Almost everything that needs to happen next year will be based on what is going to, what the big outcome of 2019. Don't be deceived. You either stay here and talk about Onye has contributed wonderful messages on how we need to communicate and how we need to be ready as parents and as children. But the truth is, there's even a bigger picture. Because the United Kingdom, for next year, they don't know where they are. Either in Europe or out of Europe. The global #1 democracy, which is the United States of America, happens to have another wonderful guy. He is wonderful because the people decided to pick him. You may say whatever you like about Donald Trump. His people, his American people, in an African way, because they're complaining about the election. So that's what I'm saying, in an African way. Because African nation has been going through almost every election that we end up complaining that it's not right. It's not done the legal way. It wasn't a democratic election. For the first time, the #1 nation in the world, for the first time, we're experiencing what Africans have been going through for many decades. And what happened? The #1 political most powerful person in the world, Barack Obama, even came forth to say this election in the United States is fraud. Can you believe that? But then, as I said, Africans have been crying about this, that it is a Western interference in our democracy. So on a roundup, really, our foundations, be it individual or collective, you just have to raise up the bar by yourself, doing what you can within your resources, because there's a lot of promises. Government will make promises, but even the one that is duly signed between the government and the electorates has not yet been delivered. How much more somebody who has no authority in government? Because the diaspora, which I am a commandant of the Nigerian Diaspora Mentoring Corps, whereby we mentor people back home, have the challenges. Yes, the government knows that there's millions of us in the diaspora, even under this room, more than 100. But the value of what they're going to take from us is what can we contribute. #1, Nigerians outside the country, they don't contribute money to anything in terms of government. We may do our community engagement. That's #1. We cannot vote, #2. And the only thing Nigerian politicians want is either the money or the number of people you can add to their numbers. Or by making a phone call from here and telling people back home to nominate or vote for them. Simple. So do we have a value here? Do you think you have a value in Nigeria? In Nigeria right now, we have more than 170 million people who live in the country. So I would like people to always bear in mind that when you think you are coming from United Kingdom and you're going to Nigeria and you think you're somebody, trust me, you are nobody. Because the 170 plus millions of Nigerians in Nigeria are those who are somebody. They stay behind. They go through the challenges. You cannot cook food and put in a fridge in Nigeria unless you're somebody. Yeah? If not, everything that you eat is freshly bought the same day, consumed the same day. So we live lavishly here. But I'm known as the #1 Boko man. I eat in Boko, not because I can't eat somewhere else, but my lifestyle is a northern lifestyle. I grew up in the northern part of Nigeria. So I understand, for me, it's not about living the 5-star life, it's about surviving. So when you're going to Nigeria, have your plan B, your plan C, your plan D. Okay? Your plan A is the one that they told you. People here would like to engage government. And so everybody here will tell you, oh, I just met a governor, I just met the minister, and he asked me to come to Abuja to present my proposal. Have you come across that? Hello? Yeah? And I tell you what, if you cannot make that presentation to him in London, where there is light, there is harmony, there is peace, there is time schedule, and you're not telling me that the guy asked you to come to Abuja, Lagos, Kaduna, wherever, to make that presentation, I'll just tell you, guy, you're a joker. Okay? Because first and foremost, here you work your 9 to 5, or you run your own business. What is the value of your bank account? How much money do you have saved in your bank account? A governor controls billions on a monthly basis. A commissioner controls millions on a monthly basis. Yet you now, because you live in London, you now think you're as equal as a councillor, as a local government chairman, as a commissioner, as a governor, as a minister, as a senator, as a member of the National Assembly. I said, no, you're deceiving yourself. Don't be deceived. What makes you unique is the truth of the value of the business or the entrepreneurship that you have. Is the value of the foundation or charity that you can contribute in a particular community. That is the only thing that will make anybody to respect us. So please, as we all gather here tonight to support this foundation, and as you wear the cap of that you are a Nigerian, think deeply. What is the value of what you're adding to the Nigerian community, be it local, be it at state, or at national level? With that, that's the only time that the Nigerian government, the Nigerian institution, begin to take notice of what we can do. So, the Good Samaritan Foundation, whatever we can do from the media perspective, we will definitely back it up, we will support it, we will let people know what you're doing, and wherever we can promote it, we will cry out and let them know that we are crying out, not because we cannot, it's because we're doing something and we just want them to know that this thing is happening. His Excellency Governor Tanko Al-Makura is in his second term, and hopefully likewise some of them want to really leave a legacy. They want to really be associated with things coming from the diaspora. But those things must have value, and those things must be progressive. They must impart on the life of those people in their community and their state. So, personally for me, that's the only advice I can give, that Nigerians, all of us are somebody, but to another person we are nobody. So if you bear that in mind, that yes, you are somebody, while at the same time the person talking to you, even myself, you can say, yes, I'm talking to you now, who is Alistair? He's nobody. Okay? But for me, I know I'm somebody. Right? So when you're living and you're going to Nigeria, just make sure that, because things are systematically happening in Nigeria, that's my last line. Things are systematically happening. What is happening? There are some institutions that are actually following due process. Okay? Because you've taken things to Nigeria and you think they're not working, and they will give you documentation and they will tell you how to play those, whatever it is that you're bringing to Nigeria. So things are working in a systematic way. But the point is, Nigerians have never been through the crisis that we are facing today. We have never been through that. And the last one is, we have been enjoying a road for the last 17 years under one house. And for the first time now, we have shifted the government policy into another house, which is another party. So that party is running their own system the way they know. And for Nigerians, this is the first time likewise that we are coming across another party being in government, at least at the national level. At the state level, in many situations, you don't even know the difference between the two. But at the national level, there's something that is happening. So let's bear with it. Where the government needs support, please, all I can say is let's support them, and where we need to criticize them, let's criticize them, but don't take the A to Z of social media. Because the Nigerian social media, people just wake up and throw something on social media, and it starts going around, and before you know, to be honest, it could be complete fake and fraud, and that thing is not flying. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much. I hope I've contributed a tiny bit on this IDP, the Nigerian direction, our direction, and foundation direction, to know that yes, government is willing to work with institutions, especially institutions that are contributing something that they can see. And on a final note, please, majority of Nigerians want to be contractors. Yeah? Because almost everybody in Nigeria, all they talk about is the contract. Nothing more, the contract. What are you waiting for? The contract. What are you looking for from the government? Contract. So almost everybody is just thinking about the contract. And why do they really want the contract? Because they just write everything on a piece of paper, and they don't have their own money. So they believe that when you take that contract paper to the government will fund the contract for you to go and do your business. And when you don't deliver the contract, because you shared the money with the other people, nobody probe you. So get ready, by 2019, things will definitely change, and by 2017, things will change. So don't go looking for contract, please. Bring something up so that we too can come to you and you give us the contract. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.